Good day everyone, I'm Shereen Galapon and I'm from Group 7 alongside Jericho, Marcelo, and Janine Garcia.
So as you see on the screen, our topic today is all about various sociological theories of crime. So some of you might wonder, what is crime exactly? Well, a crime happens when someone violates the law by an overact, omission, or negligence that is punishable. In criminal law, crime is defined as an act performed or omitted in violation of a public law prohibiting or mandating it. Always remember na ang isang tao na lumabag sa isang batas o lumabag sa isang tuntunin, he or she is already have committed a criminal offense. So, why does crime occur? The causes of crime are very complex. There are some factors that might contribute to someone breaking the law, like kahirapan, parental maltreatment, low self-esteem, and alcohol and drug abuse. May ilan naman na because of their birth circumstances or mental illnesses, sila yung more likely na maging criminal talaga. And the next one, what are some different types of crime? There are several types of crimes, and what constitutes a crime varies from state to state. In general, crimes may be divided into 4 basic types. These are personal crimes, property crimes, incipient crimes, and statutory crimes. So why are some offensive behaviors considered crimes but others are not? Kaya ginawa ng gobyerno na maging illegal ang criminal behavior or action dahil it really harms other people. And what can we do to influence rates of criminal behavior in society? Sociological explanations, on the other hand, help comprehend the social patterning of crime and fluctuations in crime rates, and they also lend themselves to feasible strategies for decreasing crime. Following is a quick summary of various explanations. So these are the types of sociological theories. The first one is differential association theory. Secondly, social bond theory, social disorganization theory, anomy theory, strain theory, relative deprivation theory, general strain theory, differential opportunity theory, eccentric zone theory, learning theory, containment theory, trip theory, labeling theory, multi-causal factors theory, and lastly, nurture theory. So the first theory is differential association theory. Edwin Sutherland developed differential association theory. He produced an important work entitled Principles of Criminology in 1939, in which he outlined this theory. Sutherland's differential association theory suggests that people commit a crime by learning in a social context through their interactions with others and communicating with them. So Sutherland claims that all significant aspects of human conduct, including criminal behavior, are learned. Just like you learn how to ride a bike, read, or cook, you also learn how to commit a crime. And so, if we want to understand crime and criminal behavior, we need to look at how people learn things. Naniniwala siya na ang criminal behavior ay natututunan ng isang tao through interaction with others. Meaning to say, iba't iba ang nakakasalumuhan nating tao, iba't iba rin yung natututunan natin. Kabilang na dito yung pag-aaral ng mga pamamaraan kung paano mag-commit ng crime, maging mga motibo, drives, rationalizations, and attitudes for determining it. When we look at the way in which people learn things, one thing that is crucial is whom we learn from. The people around us have different opinions about sa kung ano ang tama at kung ano ang mali. Some people believe that breaking the law is wrong, but others do not. Kaya mahalaga kung sino yung mga taong nakapaligid sa atin o kung sino yung mga taong nakakasalumuha natin. If you have more contact with people who believe that it's wrong to break rules, you will be less likely to commit a crime yourself. On the other hand, if you have more contact with people who believe it's okay to break rules, you will be more likely to commit a crime. That is, in short, the general idea of differential association theory. So the second one is social bond theory. The social bond theory operates from the assumption that humans are born hedonistic and must be controlled to prevent them from committing crimes. When we say hedonistic, ito yung ginagawa mo yung isang bagay dahil sa paghahangat ng kasiyahan. And in order to prevent them from committing a crime, they must be controlled. Persky believes believes that the greater the degree of social control and the density of social relationships, the more likely na yung mga tao ay aayon doon or susunod sa pamantayan na pinatutupad. By social bonds, Hersky understands elements of social cohesion. These include an attachment to the family, involvement in activities, commitment to socially accepted norms and institutions, and believe that these things are very important. So the first element is attachment. Attachment describes the strength of the bonds and relationships that exist within an individual social environment. Ito yung relationship natin sa parents natin. Ito yung pinaka-importante na concept ng attachment natin. The attachment to the circle of friends can also prevent deviance, but also as long as the circle of friends that not represent deviant norms. And second one is involvement. By involvement, Hersky means that someone who is intensively involved in conventional activities has less time and opportunity to engage in deviant behavior. Structured, socially accepted activities such as school, work, or raising children also strengthen the self-discipline needed to resist the impulses of deviant behavior. So the third one is commitment. Commitment describes the level of dedication invested in conventional standards and goals. Hersky assumes that someone who has already invested resources, time and energy in achieving compliant goals has more to lose through deviant behavior than someone who has invested little devotion in pursuing socially accepted goals. For example, yung isang estudyante na talagang nag-e-invest ng time niya or ng effort niya para magkaroon ng good grades, yun yung talagang balabong bumagsak kumpara dun sa tamad na estudyante na hindi pinapahalagahan yung grado. And the fourth element is belief. Hersky sees belief as a fourth factor in social bonding. This refers to the belief in and validity of the values and norms of mainstream society. The more these values and norms have been internalized, the more difficult it becomes to violate them. When the meaning of norms is questioned, the intrinsic motivation to obey them also decreases. So the third theory is social disorganization theory. In 1942, two criminology researchers from the Chicago School of Criminology, Clifford Shaw and Henry D. McKay, developed social disorganization theory through their research. According to the theory of social disorganization, a person's physical and social circumstances are most accountable for his or her behavioral choices. The core tenet of social disorganization theory is that location is important in forecasting unlawful behavior. Shaw and McKay observed that high crime districts had at least three characteristics. These are the physical deterioration, poverty, and a higher level of ethnic and cultural mixing. Para sa kaalaman ng lahat, itong theory na to madalas na ginagamit to predict teenage violence and criminality. So social disorganization theory suggests that a person's home location is more important than a person's qualities in predicting criminal conduct, and kids living in these regions will learn crime as a result of cultural acceptance within disadvantaged urban neighborhoods or transitional neighborhoods. Therefore, location matters when it comes to criminality based on the social disorganization theory. So the next one is anomy theory by David Emil Durkheim. A means without law and nomo or nomos means law. So meaning to say, anomy means without law or the breakdown of social order resulting from the loss of standards and values. Durkheim defines anomy as a discrepancy or pagkakaiba between individual or group norms and broader societal standards, or the absence of societal morality, which results in moral instability and a lack of acceptable ambitions. Anomy is a social condition in which there is a disintegration or disappearance sa mga pamantayan o patakaran that were previously common to the society. That concept thought of as normlessness, that anomy occurs during and follows periods of drastic and rapid changes to the social, economic, or political structures of society. Ayon kay Durkheim, ang anomy theory is a kind of transition phase na kung saan yung mga values and norms sa common noong unang panahon ay hindi na valid ngayon. Ngunit may pumalit nga pero hindi na ganun na sa dulad ng dati. Kumbaga, hindi kayang gawin ng bago yung kayang gawin ng past. and that's the general idea of anomy theory. So the fifth one is strain theory. The ideas underlying strain theory were first advanced in the 1930s by American sociologist Robert King Merton. He asserts that conflicts between what people want to achieve and the legal methods to do so lead to crime. Thus, individuals experience strain, which is a combination of anger, frustration, and resentment. According to strain theory, some strains or pressures enhance the chance of crime. These tensions cause unpleasant feelings like frustration and wrath. These feelings put pressure on people to take action, and syempre, crime ang unang option. Crime can be employed to relieve or escape stress, exact revenge on the cause of stress or connected targets, or alleviate bad feelings. Individuals enduring prolonged unemployment, halimbawa, may engage in theft or drug dealing to get money, seek revenge against the person who fired them, or use illegal substances to feel better. So, merong primary variations ang strain theory. Ang una ay the specific strains that are most likely to lead to crime. Secondly, why strains increase crime. And thirdly, the elements that contribute to or discourage people from responding to strains with a crime. All strains theory agree that only a small percentage of stressed people turn to crime. Dito sa strain theory nito, ang pinaka-point dito is stress ang nagiging dahilan ng criminal behavior or criminality. So the sixth one is relative deprivation theory by Judith Blau and Peter Blau, a situation that arises when wealthy and poor individuals coexist in close proximity. The relatively poor are more likely to experience rage and hatred, which may lead to criminal activity. Sinasabi dito na ang pagiging isang dukha or mahirap ay nagdudulot ng pagkainggit sa mga mayayaman na nagre-result sa inequality, and this inequality may lead to crime. And so the general idea of this theory was the inequality between the rich and poor. So the seventh one is the general strain theory by Robert Agnew. Stress produces negative emotions such as anger or depression that promote delinquent behavior without adequate coping skills. Compared to Merton's explanations of strain theory, the general strain theory provides a broader view of the causes of crime. According to Robert Agnew's general strain theory, strain is based on three different factors. The first one is the failure to achieve a goal. The second one is the existence of harmful impulses, and the third one is the removal of positive impulses. So, according to Agnew, there are various reasons for the variance producing strain. Yung una is strain caused by the failure to achieve positively valued to goals, like yung failure of having a good grades. The second one is stress caused by the disjunction of expectations and achievements. The third one is the pressure as the removal of positively valued stimuli from the individual. And lastly, strain as the presentation of negative stimuli. He believes that stress causes negative emotional states such as anger na naglilid sa violent behavior, or sadness na nagre-resulta sa paggamit ng pinagbabawal na gamot, that which are favorable to various delinquent behaviors in the absence of suitable coping abilities. So next is differential opportunity theory by Richard Cloward and Lloyd Olin. Cloward and Olin's differential opportunities theory connects learning, subculture, anomy, and social disorganization ideas. On the one hand, the approach is Sutherland-based, assuming that criminal motivations, tactics, and rationalizations are taught through criminal relationships. On the other hand, dito sa dalawa na to, sumasang-ayon sila nung kay Merton and Cohen that deviant behavior is a result of stratum-specific pressure to adopt, or more precisely, of restricted access to legal means, and that this adaptation, according to Cohen, typically occurs collectively through interaction processes in groups. Cloward and Olin view the explanation, which is why not all people who struggle with adaptation becomes criminals, in the fact that access to illicit means, or alam nila may pinagbabawal, they may also be restricted for criminal activity, and that's what we call the opportunities differentiate. For example, drug trafficking. Mahirap siyang gawin lalo na sa ibang region kumpara sa ibang syudad. Dahil kapag ang isang tao gusto niya maging drug dealer, kailangan niya din ng drug suppliers. But also a client base and a street corner na kung saan ibebenta niya yung mga narcotics niya. However, not everyone has access to these resources. Relationships with experienced individuals who are willing to offer their expertise and professional network are required.
Concentric Zone Theory by Ernest Burgess and Robert Ezra Fark. When cities are fully grown, the community will take into the form of 5 concentric rings, and criminality fall on the inner center. Concentric Zone Theory ay nagsasabi na ito ay bumabase sa amount ng babayaran ng tao o mamamayan para sa isang lupa or land, dahil ang value ng land ay ang pinakamataas o sentro sa isang komunidad. Learning Theory by Albert Bandura. Despite not being naturally violent, people might learn to be hostile through their experiences, asserts that close interaction with other people can lead to criminal behavior and that the children are born good and learn to be bad from other people. Ang pinakasimpleng paliwanag sa teoryang ito ay nanggaling din sa kasabihan nating mga Pinoy na experience is the best teacher. Sinasabi na isang obserbasyon mas natututo ang isang tao base sa kanyang mga naranasan dahil mas madali itong i-apply at panghawakan dahil subok mo na at natuto ka na sa lesson na ito ng buhay mo. Containment Theory by Walter Reckless. The central concepts of containment theory are that outer and inner containments are required for a person to develop restrained, law-abiding behavior. Outer containment is the ability of the society, community, family, and the other groups to hold persons within the bounds of accepted norms. Walter Reckless, believing that every person has a restraint promoting internal psychological and shielding external social frameworks both offer protection and isolation against criminality. Ito ang teorya na nagsasabing ang development ng isang pagkatao ay dahil din sa sariling damdamin o pag-uugali na mas na-impluwensyahan ng mga tao sa paligid niya, sa pakikitungo nito sa kanya at kung paano siya nitong pakitunguhan na isa din sa nagiging dahilan ng pag-execute ng isang krimen, example, frustration, rebelliousness, and the need for gratification, etc. Drift Theory by David Mazza and Gresham Skies indicate that criminals share the same ideals as law-abiding people. They pick up skills that allow them to undermine those principles and vacillate between righteous and improper actions. Skies and Mazza contend that when a person's behavior deviates from accepted social norms, they create a unique sets of explanation for it. Nagsasabi na mas lumalaki yung possibilities and opportunities ng kriminal na mag-execute ng isang krimen dahil sa nakikita nitong nilang butas or not highly organized ang isang batas o hindi ganun kabigat ang magiging punishment for the crime that they will be executed. Differential Identification Theory by Daniel Glaser. This theory is about a person who tries to emulate and model the behavior of another person's having an undesirable behavior. Ang teoryang ito ay nagsasabing ang isang tao ay mayroong ginagawang modelo na mayroong undesirable behavior which is nagiging dahilan ng pag-execute ng isang krimen dahil ginagaya at pinoportray niya ang modelong ito na nasa isip niya. Labeling Theory by Howard Becker and Frank Tannenbaum. According to him, society fosters deviation through a network of social control organizations that name certain people as delinquents, stigmatizing them and encouraging them to embrace this unfavorable self-identity na nagsasabing ang behavior ng isang tao ay naiimpluwensyahan ng label na naka-attach sa kanila by society. Multi-causal factors theory. A single theory cannot solely explain The Cause of Crime, ay nagsasabing ang isang teorya lamang ay hindi maaari o kayang magkaroon ng isang solusyon sa kung ano ang dahilan ng isang krimen. Nurture theory. Proponents of nurture theory argue that intelligence is not inherited and that low IQ parents do not necessarily produce low IQ children. The debate about any link between IQ and criminality is unlikely to be settled soon. Na nagsasabing ang kapasidad ng pag-iisip ng isang tao ay hindi namamana o nakukuha sa magulang. Hindi namamana o nagpo-produce ang mga magulang na mababa ang IQ, ng mga anak o bata na mababa din ang IQ. Na tayong lahat ay may kanya-kanyang kapasidad na nagde-develop sa sarili at hindi namamana lamang.
That's all for today. Thank you everyone for listening.